Conscious spending is more than a financial strategy. It's a philosophy that transforms the way we interact with our money, our time, and ultimately, our lives. In a world where advertisements, social pressures, and digital temptations are ever present, it's easy to fall into the trap of mindless consumption. We buy things to fill voids, to keep up with trends, or simply out of habit. But what if we paused, took a step back, and considered the true impact of each dollar we spend? This is where the art of conscious spending comes alive. At its core, conscious spending is about aligning your financial decisions with your values, your goals, and your genuine needs. It's not about deprivation or penny pinching. Rather, it's about intentionality. It's about spending on what truly matters to you and cutting back on what doesn't. When practiced thoughtfully, conscious spending can lead to greater financial freedom, less stress, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. The journey begins with awareness. Take a moment to reflect on your current spending habits. Where does your money go each month? Are there recurring expenses that no longer bring you joy or serve a meaningful purpose? Many people are surprised to discover how much they spend on things that are quickly forgotten. An impulsive online purchase, a subscription they rarely use, or frequent takeout meals that barely register as memorable experiences. To cultivate awareness, it helps to track your expenses. This doesn't have to be a tedious process. Even a simple review of your bank statements can reveal patterns. Are you spending more on convenience than you realize? Are there areas where your spending feels automatic rather than intentional? By shining a light on these habits, you empower yourself to make changes that are aligned with your priorities. Once you have a clear picture of your spending, the next step is to define your values. What truly matters to you? Is it travel, quality time with loved ones, personal growth, or perhaps supporting causes you believe in? Your values are the compass that will guide your spending decisions. When your financial choices reflect your deepest values, every dollar spent becomes a vote for the kind of life you want to lead. For example, if you value health and well-being, you might choose to invest in fresh, nutritious food or a gym membership, rather than frequent fast food or trendy gadgets. If you value learning, you might budget for books and courses, or experiences that expand your horizons. The key is to be honest with yourself about what brings you lasting happiness, rather than fleeting satisfaction. Conscious spending also involves distinguishing between needs and wants. Needs are the essentials: housing, food, transportation, healthcare, while wants are the extras that enhance our lives but aren't strictly necessary. It's easy for wants to masquerade as needs, especially in a culture that equates consumption with success. By pausing before each purchase and asking yourself, is this a need or a want? You create space for mindful decision-making. One powerful technique is the 24-hour rule. When you feel the urge to buy something non-essential, wait a full day before making the purchase. This simple pause can help you differentiate between impulse buys and thoughtful investments. Often you'll find that the initial excitement fades and the item no longer feels essential. On the other hand, if the desire persists, it may be a sign that the purchase aligns with your values and is worth considering. Another aspect of conscious spending is understanding the true cost of your purchases, not just in dollars, but in time, energy, and opportunity. Every dollar spent is a dollar that can't be used elsewhere. By considering the opportunity cost, you become more selective about where your money goes. For example, spending $100 on a night out might mean delaying a weekend getaway you've been dreaming about. When you see your resources as finite, you naturally become more intentional about how you use them. Conscious spending also encourages gratitude and contentment. In a society that constantly pushes us to acquire more, it's easy to overlook the abundance we already have. By focusing on what you truly appreciate, whether it's a cozy home, a delicious meal, or time spent with friends, you shift your mindset from scarcity to sufficiency. This shift can reduce the urge to chase after the next big thing and help you find satisfaction in the present moment. Of course, conscious spending doesn't mean never indulging or treating yourself. It's about choosing your indulgences wisely. so that they bring genuine joy rather than guilt or regret. If you love good coffee, perhaps you decide to splurge on a high-quality bag of beans and savor each cup, rather than mindlessly grabbing a coffee on the go every day. By making room for these intentional pleasures, you enrich your life without compromising your financial well-being. Another key element is generosity. Conscious spending isn't just about personal gain. It's also about contributing to the greater good. When you allocate part of your budget to causes or people you care about, you create a ripple effect of positive impact. Whether it's supporting a local business, donating to charity, or helping a friend in need, these acts of generosity can be deeply rewarding. Implementing conscious spending in your life is an ongoing process. It requires regular reflection, honesty, and a willingness to adapt as your values and circumstances evolve. Set aside time each month to review your spending, celebrate your successes, and identify areas for improvement. Over time, you'll find that your relationship with money becomes less stressful and more empowering. In the end, the art of conscious spending is about reclaiming control over your financial life. It's about making the choices that reflect who you are and what you value, rather than letting external pressures dictate your actions. By spending with intention, you create space for what truly matters: experiences, relationships, and personal growth. You cultivate a sense of freedom and fulfillment that no amount of mindless consumption can provide. So, the next time you reach for your wallet, pause and ask yourself, does this purchase align with my values? Will it bring lasting joy or simply momentary pleasure? Am I spending in a way that supports the life I want to create? With each conscious choice, you move closer to a life of purpose, abundance, and meaning. That is the true art of conscious spending.